Listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. You will have time to read the instructions and questions and you will be given time to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts.
Now turn to part 1.
A student wants to register for a conference. Listen to the conversation between the student and the woman and answer the questions. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. You will see that there is an example which has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played twice.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes. Is this where we register for the Beyond 2000 conference?
Yes. What's your name and I'll get your conference bag.
The student says she wants to register for the Beyond 2000 conference. So you write the words Beyond 2000. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen because you will not hear the recording a second time. Look at the registration form. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes. Is this where we register for the Beyond 2000 conference?
Yes. What's your name and I'll get your conference bag.
Well, I haven't actually registered yet. I was told I'd be able to register today, so I hope that's okay. I've just arrived in Melbourne.
That should be fine if you're a student. I'll need to take your details though. So, can I have your full name?
Yes, sure. It's Melanie Mitchell.
Is that M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L?
Yes, that's right. And that's Ms., not Miss.
Okay, fair enough. And what's your address, Melanie?
I live in student accommodation at Sydney University, so my address there is Room 66, Women's College, Newtown.
Okay. And which faculty are you studying in?
I'm in the Faculty of Education. I'm doing a Master's in Primary School Teaching.
Right. And may I see your student card because I need to verify that you're a current student?
Yes, sure. Here it is. My number is 994578ED.
The woman asks the student some more questions about the conference. Look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen to their conversation and answer questions 5 to 10.
Okay. Now, do you want to attend all 3 days? The conference runs from Thursday to Saturday.
Yes, I think so, if I can afford it. What does it cost?
Well, you're eligible for a student discount, which makes it $15 for a day registration or $40 for the 3 days, though it is possible to register for half a day only.
I'll register for all 3 days, please.
Good. Now, will you be requiring accommodation while you're here in Melbourne?
Yes, I suppose I will. What's available?
Well, we have several levels of accommodation. You can share a room with another student for $25 a night. Or you can have your own room but share the bathroom. I believe it's just down the corridor. That's $45.
Right.
Or you can have a single room with your own bathroom.
I don't mind sharing a room. On second thoughts, yes, I do. I'll have my own room, but I'll share the bathroom.
Right. Now, the conference fee does not include meals, though you do get tea and coffee in the breaks. Shall I put you down for lunch? That's an extra $10 a day. And there's the conference dinner on Friday night, which is $25. Oh, and what about breakfast?
Hang on a minute. It's all starting to sound rather expensive. I'll have the lunch, but not the dinner or breakfast, if that's okay.
Perfectly okay. Now, a couple of other things. There are a number of special interest groups organised. They're known as SIGs, and you're asked to nominate your preference. They'll take place on the Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, but they're filling up quickly, which is why you need to nominate now.
Right. What are the SIGs?
Well, there are 6 altogether. Let's see. On Friday you have a choice between computers in education or teaching reading skills. Or a session on catering for the gifted child.
Oh, they all sound interesting. But technology in the classroom is really my area of interest, rather than reading. So I'll go for that. I can probably read up on the gifted child topic myself.
Right. And then the Saturday options are a session on cultural differences, or there's music in the primary curriculum, or you could go to the one on gender issues in the classroom.
Wow! Can I go to them all? They all sound fascinating.
Afraid not.
Well, I'm really interested in how boys and girls behave differently, even when they are very young, so I'd better opt for the 3rd session, even though the cultural differences SIG is probably really interesting too.
Right.
And the music option would be interesting.
And how would you like to pay? We accept most credit cards or bank cheques, but not personal cheques, I'm afraid. Been caught out too often before. And cash, of course. We never say no to cash.
I'll have to put it on my card because I don't have enough cash on me right now.
That's fine. Enjoy your time here with us in Melbourne.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Part 2.
You will hear a woman talking about a number of different beaches to a group of tourists. First, look at questions 11 to 20. As you listen, answer questions 11 to 20.
Right, let's move on to the beaches here, which are absolutely beautiful. You do have over 100 to choose from. They're mostly sandy beaches, and they vary from the largest, which is 2.5 kilometres long, to tiny sandy coves. But there are a few that I'd really recommend you to visit. So, looking at this pamphlet, first of all, there's Bandella Beach. This beach is 1 kilometre away from the old fishing village of Bandella, which is a beautiful spot. If you park in the car park behind it, there's a small path which leads down to the bay. It's very pretty because the whole beach is backed by pine trees, so it's very sheltered. The beach itself is very clean, and the water is shallow and safe. That, together with the soft sand, make it an ideal beach for children and non-swimmers. A little further round the coast, again to the east, in the eastern corner of the island, is the spectacular Dapolata Beach, which is basically a long inlet. The land around this beach is marshland. It's all marsh, and there's a stream which winds through it, and the stream goes into the sea. And the beach has lovely pale gold sand. Access to this beach is quite tricky, and not for the less energetic. You have to go down a long flight of steps, 190 to be exact. But you'll be relieved to know that there's also a road which winds down to a car parking area. When you're level with the sea, there is a handful of shops and bars, and you can hire some beds and umbrellas. Continuing round the island, just past the tip of Calne, is the next beach I'd suggest you visit, and this is Sanget. Why? Because there isn't a beach longer than this on the island. If you want to know, it's exactly 2.5 kilometres long, and that's a bonus because it means it never gets overcrowded. It has golden sand and clear blue water shelving into the sea. There are several beach restaurants to choose from, and water sports are available when the water is calm. But check first. This beach operates a flag system, as the sea can get rough, and you should always swim between the flags. There's a large car park which gives you easy access to the eastern end of the beach, but the western end is much quieter and more wild, as it is harder to reach. Blanaka is another popular beach, just in the northwest corner of the island. It has incredibly white sand and sparkling water. There is ample car parking here, and plenty of bars and restaurants. Blanaka has white cliffs all around it, and for those of you who'd like a little more to do than just lazing on the beach, there are caves here which you can explore in the cliffs, and you can also dive into the water from rock platforms along the side of the cove. Well, my final recommendation for today is Disador. Now, this beach isn't quite as easy to get to as the others I've talked about. It's quite a remote little beach, tucked away here next to Blanaka. You can reach Disador by a steep slope which goes over some sandbanks. The beach itself is small and pretty, with reddish-coloured sand and some stony areas on its eastern side. Despite being quite small, the bathing is good, and you can also go fishing here from the rocks at either side. It's a good idea to take some food and drink with you if you decide to go here, as there's only one little bar which isn't always open. So, that should give you plenty of ideas to choose from over the next 2 weeks, and if you have any further questions...
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Part 3.
You'll hear a conversation between student Tom and a tutor about a voluntary programme. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24. Now listen carefully and answer the questions 21 to 24.
Hello, Tom Thompson, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Come in and sit down.
Thanks.
Right. Well, Tom, as we explained earlier, in this part of the interview, we would like to talk through your application form, your career experience and educational background, and so on. And then in the second part, you will go for a group discussion.
Group discussion. Yes, I see.
So, was your first degree in business studies?
Yes, but I also majored in educational science.
And you graduated in 2002. And I know you have been doing some teaching.
Yes, I worked as a volunteer in a primary school in Vietnam. I was there for about 3.5 years in total, from 2003 to 2006.
Great. What kind of organisation was it?
It's a voluntary organisation called Asian Cross.
OK, yes, I have heard of it. It operates in several Asian countries, doesn't it? And what kind of school was it?
A rural primary school in a shanty town.
Right. And what did you teach?
A variety of subjects in different areas. I did mainly arithmetic with levels 1 to 3 and some English conversations with level 5. Then in my final year I took on some construction and gardening. That's level 6.
Right, that sounds great.
I also ran the subsistence farming in a rural area with residents.
How interesting.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at the questions 25 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 25 to 30.
And how did you join the voluntary organisation?
Actually, a friend mentioned them. The Asian Cross do applying, enlightening and make voluntary works and so forth.
So, what did you get from them?
Well, I was so happy to help the people with my efforts. At the end, I was so proud of myself as a volunteer. Sometimes I was really sharing a lot and understanding the others.
I see.
And I also found I was able to improve my vision and dream for the future dramatically. I made up my mind to extend my voluntary work to other countries as well.
Right. Did you travel at all while you were there?
Yes, I did. We set up a very successful project teaching computer class and donating second-hand bicycles locally.
Really?
Sometimes while working there, I went to London to raise money for building new farms with a part-time job.
So, what's next?
The local governor sponsored all volunteers' visas and paid for their accommodation and travel costs.
You're lucky, aren't you? Anyway, why did you want to teach construction and gardening?
I had a couple of part-time jobs when I was at university. I have now realised I like teaching best, and I chose construction and gardening because they are my favourite hobbies and because I think they have so many useful applications.
OK, you have certainly had some interesting work experience. I'll ask you now...
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check the answers.
Part 4.
You'll hear part of some information given by the Student Union Centre. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer the questions 31 to 40.
We are very happy that the college authority has accepted the students' suggestions about the design of a new library and student union building. We deeply appreciate the beneficiaries of college library facilities for current students. We have researched the best ways to find out student opinions and use them to help us make decisions. Initially, there was a student union meeting that was held last week. Then, in the main hall in King's Building, we invited all students to hand in suggestions for the design of new buildings, placing cards in a suggestion box. The suggestions enabled us to design a questionnaire that was completed by around 3,000 students over 1 month. As a result, the college authority collected the results and made a report. This presentation is basically a workshop based on the main points that came up in the questionnaire. Most of all, regarding the critical areas of the site, we reviewed the 4 options which you have suggested. Number 1 will be in the centre of the college, near the fountain. Number 2 will be at the corner at Maple in the north. Number 3 will be near the student accommodation building, and number 4 will be near the business school. We have reflected students' need to cite reasons for or against these sites, so there are a number of issues with all 4 sites. It seems site 1 was so crowded and noisy. Site 2 is a popular choice because it's quiet and a short distance from the lecture rooms. Site 3 was unpopular due to parking problems. Finally, number 4 was too far from the other colleges. Furthermore, our second suggestion for the student union building is obviously the facilities for leisure and sports. We would like a big fitness centre and, if possible, a swimming pool that is close to competition size. Also, we want to set up a variety of things that cater to students' needs, such as a job centre, travel agent, language centre for international students, internet cafe, and so forth. Additionally, at the Student Counselling Centre and Luxury Refectory will also be there. However, we are also considering a drama theatre. Just over 30% of the respondents were in favour of this and 25% were against it. Around 45% were neutral. 70% of respondents are in favour of the Student Union building being located close to the accommodation buildings, as this will be more convenient for them, although there are some concerns about security and fire. Also, the student union deeply insisted that a video surveillance system and security guard team that check the student union ID cards are in place. Finally, these buildings will be maintained well, as this is important for students' welfare. As I said, further details and information will be given in our college newspaper, but for now, I would be glad to answer any questions you may have.
That is the end of Part 4. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to Part 4. That is the end of the listening test.